My name is Shapa Sisera, the writer of Makgakgasa, the musical.
Thatale, Klaas, Motebejane. I'm an actor, playwright, filmmaker, now trying to be an author, having converted one of my stage plays into a book. As Makgakgasa, I was involved in it as a dramaturge, but eventually I ended up directing the whole show, which was written by Mashapa Sisera Malema.
My name is Brian Murray, known as Fisherman. I'm an art director, set dresser, wardrobe designer, and my involvement in this project, I was called to be the set designer. But when I got there, I was offered another position to actually do the wardrobe designing too.
Hi, my name is Kifenza Mugwena. I was playing the character of Pedi as well as Matema in Makgakgasa the musical.
Hi, I am the Aura and I play Motebejane in Makgakgasa the musical and also a poet named the Aura.
Thokozani, this is your girl Lioness P. Ntwana Yabadimu. I'm a writer, a storyteller, and a singer.
Well, it was challenges that our society is facing right now in terms of going back to our roots, in terms of cultural diversity in the province of Limpopo. I've also seen the challenges in terms of when shows travel abroad and so forth, you could only find other traditional fairs rather than the Pedi fair. So what inspired me to write about this, we want to take out the beauty of Limpopo out there for the people to see that we are also gifted in terms of poetry, storytelling, and dramatization of our culture and heritage.
A dramaturge is more on an advisory level or just more onto assisting with the research. If an upcoming or established writer or director needs a dramaturge, it means probably the story might be based on the truth or something that is in existence, something that will need more research, more in-depth knowledge. So I was there initially to assist. The story is Makgakgasa. It's about a dance form, Pedi, women. So that form of a dance has been in existence since probably Pedi. So he needed assistance for me to research it and to see if it's practicable, if it's doable on stage. So he was supposed to be directing the show, but eventually said, can you just take over and be the director, which I did.
The production took about 2 weeks, but we only started in the next week. Pretty cramped, but we managed to pull it through, and then we had 3 days of performance.
Normally when we do productions, the issue that is of interest, or to me, it's when it creates a debate, because when you mention a title, probably you just write and say Makgakgasa. So mostly people will expect to see a fully fledged dance form in a more biographical form, to say, Pedi, this dance came from when, it started when, by who and how, and all the 5 W's and an H. So what I employed, in fact, was to allow the script, the narrative, to talk about the story, but then I employed a particular form or style of directing called theatre of the absurd. So theatre of absurd, it's a theatre form that was introduced post-World War II. It's got powerful people like Bernard Shaw, the poet, who wrote about a play called, I forgot the name, but it has something to do with arms and then and it was absurd, such that the Queen or the Prince of Britain at the time didn't want to see the play because he felt it was insultive, it was against all the conventional forms of theatre. So it is an unconventional kind of theatre, stylized in a particular way. With me this time, because of the idiom, this particular woman who was the main character of the story, Pedi, who wabinang tau. So I made sure the actors resemble that particular animal, tau. So for those that don't understand the theatre of the absurd, it might be unconventional, unorthodox, unusual, but it was great for me because it was able to create a particular kind of debate for actors, for filmmakers, for directors, everybody that came to watch the show. It was extremely interesting to hear it being debated in that particular level.
The most memorable time that I had on set was when I was actually creating the pieces, because I had to think creative and think out of the box in order to create an outside vision, like the exterior part of the show. I had to create it inside the set rather than doing the whole thing outside. So we had to bring the outside inside. That was very exciting and very challenging. And creating the clouds and creating the sun and also the colors, because everything is color. Color explains what's actually happening. The color symbolizes a lot of things. It's not just colors. Yeah, so I really enjoyed playing around in the creative side of it.
I think one of the challenges we faced was time. I mean, it is a musical after all, which means there are different aspects to it, which means we needed more time. But pulling it off in a week was a challenge, but we pulled through. Yeah.
My biggest challenge was getting stuff up. When you're setting up, because there's a time where I was trying to put the clouds on, and the clouds kept falling. Kept putting them up, they kept falling. But when I was about to give up, God said, don't, man, put up the clouds again. Then I put them up, then, they never fell. Even 3 days in a row when we did the whole show, they never fell. They still up today. Come on, after the show, 2 days after the show, the clouds are still up, So it teaches you that you should believe in your work, You shouldn't look light at what you're trying to do, because what you're doing might change somebody's life.
The challenges and whatever obstacles I know naturally I have to go whereby there is a mission or something to complete or something I have to learn. So whatever it's not bad, but it's a challenge whereby I was willing Mkulu can teach other people, but it is what it is.
The first and foremost thing when one is given a play to direct, it's the script as a director that you need to work with whoever has written for you to understand what is it that you need to use. So we didn't have much time to interrogate the script, to go through it and then see what kind of form or style, whether we needed to use realism, we needed to use any particular form of staging it. So we didn't have much time to interrogate it, because initially it was supposed to be directed by the writer himself, Machapasiser. So another challenge is because I became involved on a more later stage in a directorial position, it wasn't easy because I didn't do the casting. So casting also is very imperative, it's very important. But eventually we were able to find a way, because Makgakgasa is a dance form. So we needed dancers. So we only have the lead actress as a dancer. The other two were not dancers. So if you needed to create a play, dance, you need to have dancers. So we didn't have dancers. We only have one dancers, but I was able to work around it to make them all be able to dance or look like they were dancing. But I was glad that the audience eventually, liked the show. But that is a challenge. So a director has to have the first choice in terms of the script and also the casting, so that you are comfortable with the people that you are working with, and then you know them very well. You know their strengths, their weaknesses, if there are any. But I was glad that eventually we were able to work it out. It was shaky a little bit initially, but we kept on working on it, and we're grateful we were able to find a band and a choreographer who was able to make the story to be more stronger and watchable.
Well, the biggest challenge today it's actually finance. You know, I mean, in the olden days we'll just do theater without expecting anything, but in today's world, when you hire people, you need to pay them accordingly. Now, when you are financed at a lower rate, then you are unable to produce what you actually need to produce. So the biggest challenge for this production was it was supposed to be a musical, so we needed more than rehearsal for 4 to 5 weeks. Now, we couldn't do that because we lacked finance. So that is the main challenge. Other than that, the artists who were here had talent which needed to be pruned for 4 weeks so that thing is within them. So I couldn't say that is a challenge. The challenge was within the production not having enough funds to keep these artists here for some time so that the assimilation of the production and the characters they had is proper.
Hi everyone, my name is Makanani, surname Nonjinge. I am Mrs. Limpopo Province First Princess 2023. I'm also the marketing manager of Mekiti as well as Slaching, which is just down the road from where we had this amazing show tonight. A friend of mine who also works in the media and entertainment industry asked me to come through tonight, and I was a bit reluctant, and reason being, we don't have a lot of these kind of productions, especially in the Limpopo province. So for me, I was skeptical about the turnout and just, you know, how the entire production would look like. But I would like to say that I was pleasantly surprised. It was an amazing show. The voices on stage, I cannot fathom how we don't already know the names of these ladies that were on stage. So it was an amazing production. Absolutely enjoyed myself tonight. Very intimate setting as well, which is something that I personally enjoy with these kinds of things. I am Soweto born and bred, so being a Joburger, I've got a high standard, high expectation. So for me, it reached my expectations. I was thoroughly impressed. And I've got a thing for bands. Like, I love live bands and live instrumentals, instead of us being, you know, forced to listen to things that we can listen to on Spotify or YouTube or whatever. So I really do appreciate the fact that there was a live band.
The audience, the way they received my work was mind-blowing, because they didn't think that it would be that mind-blowing. You know, everybody was positive about it. They loved the creativity part, the fact that we didn't use a lot of money, but we made the set come alive. You know, people were very inspired. People, they felt like, hey, they were in heaven. You know, when you got inside the theater, auditorium, the setup spoke for itself before the show actually started. So people were happy. Yeah.
Number one highlight in terms of the people I've been working with, or
the entire...
Well, here at home we used to shows that are not, what could I say, not decorated. We had a chance this time to use the set designer for our shows, which is something that we've never done before. So when you only realize that when you go to bigger theaters. Now here, when we're doing Makgakgasa, we got the chance to work with one intelligent guy who does our set designing. It's a work in progress, but it is showing us that it's possible to do with that. And the beauty of different characters that we brought for Makgakgasa, there are different skills in their different ways brought this production to life.
I'm Kelani Mabuza here, and I am a journalist, a radio personality, as well as a media personality. I came here because one of my friends in the media invited me, and you know what, this was my first time in a theater and I loved it. I didn't know what to expect, one, and secondly, it was just it was too amazing for me, and everybody knew their parts, and the fact that it was rooted in spirituality and rooted in Sepedi culture, that for me took me out of this world. And to see people acted out like that, it was just purely amazing. And for someone that is spiritual as well in the African culture, that was just amazing to watch. For a second, I almost also guitared, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, I really, really did enjoy it. And I do think I'll be coming back tomorrow. Not that I think, I will be coming back tomorrow. And I will definitely bring my friends. Thank you.
The way the collaboration of everyone contributed to the production was that the director, for instance, if he wasn't there, who was going to lead the show? You know, what I learned in theater and film is that you can't work alone. You know, we need each other. It's like a tree. A tree has so many branches, you know, but it gives us shade. At the end of the day, it's shade and oxygen, you know. But it's not just one branch. It's a lot of branches, a lot of leaves, you know. It's like that in theater. In theater, we need each other. We need the production designer. We need the set dresser. We need the wardrobe designer. We need the director. But everybody listens to the director. He's like the captain of the ship, you know. So it actually teaches us discipline and to pay attention to where we're going.
Theater is highly relevant today, but what we need to do as theater makers, we need to scale up how we do theater so that a person who's sitting in Zimbabwe today can be able to watch a show here. So we scaling up our theater work into digitization will make it more relevant than it was before.
Of course, theater is still relevant. And for me, it's not a question of theater or TV. I love TV as well, but I think theater for me, really, really, you gotta dig. I'm not saying that TV you don't have to dig. Of course you have to, right? But as said, theater is the mother of acting, right? So it's where you get to pour out your soul. It's where you get to get out of your comfort zone to become something else other than just playing a human being. You know, you can take on the character of a lion and you can go as wild as you'd like to. You know, it asks you to really, you know, like take things from, it asks you to actually dig deep to your soul, like into your soul. So yeah, I'd say yeah. And in terms of relevance, it's still very much relevant. As I said, it's the mother of acting. It's legit the foundation. Yeah.
My message to everybody out there is to actually believe in themselves, you know, and to chase their dreams, because dreams are not dreams. Dreams are a guide way of where we're trying to go in life, you know. And if you look at your dreams and you follow them, everything is going to make sense at the end of the day.
I don't really, it's an encouragement to the general audience, the public out there, to support the arts, to support the theater. Theater now, because of the advent of digital or social media, people now are more inclined to watch a lot of stuff on YouTube and stuff. They don't go to theater anymore. So they're making us as playwrights, filmmakers, directors, writers, and all that to suffer a little bit. So they must come and support us in larger numbers. And also for fellow artists, thespians, to understand that theater at all times is evolving, and sometimes we employ the old tactics or mix them together to make the show as beautiful as it is. But our primary target is ordinary people who are the audience, who buy our material, who support us 100%. Keep on doing that. Thank you very much.
Words of wisdom is that get out of your comfort zone. You are set out to do greater things because your existence explains it in this world. I don't believe that you'd exist and not be set out to do good. So get out of that shell. If you cannot get out, break it, mama, and be out there. Show people that you exist and you got power and you're capable of doing greater things. So believe in yourself. Believe that prayer pays, dedication, hard work, and patience. So yeah, also be disciplined.
Well, let's continue to spark debate. You know, even if the show could be not 100%, it's 80% done or 50, whatever percentage the show is done at. What is important is to spark the debate in the creative sector around the province, you know. So I was actually very much happy when it sparked a debate. You know, when we don't put up shows, there's no debate in the creative sector. There's nothing to talk about. So my message to them is, let us put out shows. Let us put out shows on stage so that we continue to develop the creative sector in the province.
Words of wisdom to those who want to be in this field. You don't just, I don't think it's something that you just wake up and you're like, yeah, this is what I'm doing, right? I view it as a calling. So as long as it keeps calling you, by all means, follow that calling, you know? Being the mirror of the society takes like a lot from you. So you need to be ready to really give yourself up to the processes that come with this work, you know? You need to be disciplined in terms of time management, in terms of self, in terms of how you interact with other people. So you need to be ready for that. You need to be ready to be challenged in terms of your own beliefs, you know, the way you used to doing things, because that's what this industry asks you for. It asks you to step out of Kifente's shoes and to get into Matema's shoes, for example, and you'd find maybe our beliefs clash or we don't share the same belief system. Therefore, you're not allowed to judge. So it's very important for you to be disciplined, have an open mind, and be ready to play. Yeah, be ready to play. We play always. Yeah.